Welcome to the 60 Plus Podcast.
I'm Janet.
And I'm Joe. Why are you shaking your head, Janet?
I was going to laugh, and I was like, no, don't laugh.
Oh,
So I was shaking my head so I wouldn't laugh,
I thought you were like tuning your instrument or something.
trying to get the cobwebs out of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you still have cobwebs?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Good.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm very well.
That is so lovely to hear.
Yes, okay. Don't make fun of my correct grammar. What are we talking about today, Janet?
We're doing nostalgia.
Nostalgia. What kind of nostalgia?
So
The old kind? Like the stuff that used to be?
yeah, the stuff that used to be, like back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
You gotta like throw your thumb over your shoulder. Back in the day.
Back in the day, way back when, what we used to do to spend time in our leisure hours.
Well, like playing and
Play, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a
Downtime.
fancy way of saying,
when we weren't
like,
in school and before
playtime.
we had jobs.
Yeah, like
Okay.
when we were kids. What did we used to do? I think it might be interesting too, based on, why is this nostalgic? How it differs from today, right?
Oh, tremendously.
Tremendously.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you spend time?
Oh my goodness. Well, that's like such an open-ended question. Like when? During the weekend?
After school.
After school, I probably was doing my homework.
Oh, I did homework at night.
Yeah, no,
like
I
an
like
after-dinner
to
thing.
do it before dinner and then relax after.
Relax after, like sit back with a martini and
No, I didn't. No. Like watch TV.
okay. Well, we talked about TV already.
Yeah. So I'd watch TV or,
didn't
I
play
think
outside?
well, in the summertime, yeah, definitely I'd get on my bike. We'd have a lot of neighborhood kids. We'd get together. On the weekends, oh my goodness, the stuff that was like complicated play. Really. I mean, we would
You made games up.
act out entire, Robin Hood and his merry men and
Mm-hmm.
let's make a deal. Like we'd like set up a whole thing with a curtain and everything. We'd have law court or just like,
Law court.
yes, I was the judge.
You know, I have no doubt that that's true. I would have guessed that that was the case. Were you referred to as the hanging judge?
No. I was very fair.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned riding your bike.
Yes.
When I was a kid, riding bikes was a big thing. That was an activity.
Yeah.
Let's go ride bikes.
Yeah.
I would say until I was, oh boy, maybe in 7th or 8th grade,
Mm-hmm.
where all my bikes came from. Have I ever told you this?
No.
All my bikes came from the dump. We would go to the dump. My
Yeah.
dad knew the guy that owned the dump,
Yep.
and it's called a landfill now.
Right.
And there would be a pile of bike frames.
Huh.
And we would go and look through the bike frames, find a bike frame that had wheels, but not necessarily tires.
Yeah.
And then we would go and we would buy inner tubes and tires and a new seat
Mm-hmm.
and maybe handle grips.
Yeah.
And that's where all my bikes came from.
Cool.
I had the weirdest looking bikes you ever saw.
Well, I do have to say, and I think I may have mentioned this before, that I also, spending free time or whatever, I used to do a lot of chores and stuff and save my dollars so I could buy big ticket items.
Mhm.
And one of those was a 3-speed bike
3-speed bike.
with a speedometer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
It was
coveted.
green.
I coveted a neighbor's 3-speed
Yes.
bike.
So that was a big deal.
That is a big deal. It had the little lever on the right handle
yep.
grip.
Had
Yep.
the little lever,
Did it have handbrakes or the brakes on the pedals?
handbrakes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it had handbrakes.
Ooh,
It was
fancy.
pretty nice. And it was like a sparkly green. And it was just like one of my favorite colors. And I just loved that bike. And I would ride 10 miles a day.
Well, how did you do that if you weren't going out after
Well,
school?
Well, that's why I said, was this after school or was this in
Okay,
the
when
summer?
would you ride 10 miles a
In
day?
the summer, for
In the
sure.
summer.
Yeah.
Now, were you on roads or in the?
Yeah, I was on roads. What do you mean? All right. Well,
Oh, we rode our bikes in the woods. We
well,
had trails and.
yeah, we had, so I did have, we had fields behind my house.
Mhm.
and we had dirt paths.
Yep.
There was some neighborhood kids set up like a whole little like dirt bike jumps and things. So I would go on that.
Did you do jumps?
Yeah, but
Oh, you did.
not with my 3-speed though. No, I'd use my old Schwinn for that.
Oh,
'Cause
you
it
had
was,
two.
like,
You had two
lowered-
bikes.
Well, I had the old Schwinn.
We were one of the rich kids with two bikes.
No, it was my old bike, but it was better for that kind of thing, right? Because
Uh-huh.
it was more like a little, dirt bike or whatever. You could do the jumps and stuff.
When
But I always wanted a bike with a banana seat,
I had a bike with a
and
banana
I
seat.
didn't ever have one with a banana seat.
That was the first bike that I ever got new. I was probably in like 7th or 8th grade. And I think it was a birthday present. It was kind of an orange gold color and a
Oh, yeah.
white banana seat.
Yeah, nice.
The tassels on the hand grips.
Tassels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. Sounds like a girl bike though.
No. This was definitely a boy bike.
Are you sure?
Positive. I know where the bar was. Although the bikes
Right.
now, with bikes now,
Yeah.
I have 2 bikes.
Yeah.
I'm one of the rich
Well,
kids.
you're the rich kid.
They now call them step-through bikes, where you know how a boy's bike had the bar higher and the
Yes.
girl's bike had
Yes.
it lower. Now they don't call it that anymore. It's a step-through. And I have 2 step-through bikes.
Yeah.
And friends of mine say, "Well, why do you have a girl's bike?" It's
No,
much
it's an
better.
older people's bike.
It kind of.
So you don't have to swing your leg over.
I'll put like something on the back fender to carry a cooler or
Hmm.
jacket or extra stuff, and you can't swing your leg over. I mean, I'd have to be a contortionist to do it. So you have this step through.
I see.
And
Okay.
So riding bikes was a big thing. In the reading that I've done to prepare for this episode, what they did is they call that unstructured play.
Yes, and we had a lot of unstructured
Well,
play.
it doesn't sound like it. You had courtrooms and
No,
judges.
but that was of our own device. We were still unstructured. We just decided as a group, what we were going to do. And usually it was the bigger kids putting the plan together.
Okay.
And then we were, told what part we were going to play in the plan. We played airplane. I remember that too. I was like, all this is coming back to me.
Wait a minute. You played airplane. How did you
'cause
do that?
Well, there was like this hill in the back, and it was like, oh my God, we had restrooms and everything. I'm just
This doesn't sound unstructured to me at all.
well, it was organized, unstructured play.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't believe it for a second, but all
There
right.
was some mastermind. I'm sure it was probably my bigger sister.
So comparing what you'd go out, we'd be off. Our parents didn't know where we were.
Yeah.
When I was 12, my best friend and I each got motorcycles, like 50cc motorcycles.
Yeah, little bikes. Yeah.
We were miles from home, miles and miles from home.
Oh, sure.
Through the woods, through the trails, through following railroad tracks. Our parents had no idea where we were.
No, they didn't. Well, it's not that they didn't care.
It's
I
just
think
what you
there was
did.
less fear, maybe back then.
There was.
And I've said this before. It was like, yeah, see you later. Just be back before the street lights come on.
We
Or
didn't
be
know.
back for dinner or whatever it was.
We couldn't see the streetlights come on because we were deep in the woods. I'm not kidding.
Well, you wouldn't want to be deep in the woods and then it grow dark.
No, we didn't care.
No, you have
No,
lights
we-
on
we-
that.
we-
Did you have lights?
No, but our eyes were young. We could see well.
Yeah.
But comparing that unstructured play
Mm-hmm.
to the way a lot of kids experience their childhoods now, where everything is scheduled.
Yeah.
They've got their scheduled sports. They've got their scheduled whatever.
Right.
Their lives are scheduled out,
Very structured. Yeah.
not unstructured.
Yeah.
Although, just lately, so
I think there was more outdoor play too
Oh, for
us,
sure.
right? We were always outside. It
we
was
couldn't
like,
stay inside.
go
Like
outside,
my
yes.
parents would be like, "Go
go
out, go out."
Yeah. Yeah. Don't let the door hit shut.
And despite the fact that today's kids are very structured and they have like lots of scheduled sports, for instance, all the reading that I did said that when we were kids, play was much more physical than it is for kids today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's less screen time, right? Just that in and of itself. You're going to sit down, you're behind a screen.
Hmm.
So whether you're playing video games or you're on social media or whatever, you're behind a screen. So you're sitting. Whereas we didn't have that. There were no screens. There was just the
There was a
television screen.
TV,
But
which
I
was
was thinking
round.
about this too. Like you were outside, but then if you had a rainy day,
Stay
you
inside, and
you would stay inside, but you would arrange the kids would come over and you play in the basement of so and so's house or
it was
whatever.
still unstructured.
Or you would play board games.
We didn't. No,
No, you never
no,
played board games?
no. We had a big crowd of
We used to
kids.
play Monopoly.
No, we had a big crowd of kids, all boys, and no, I don't ever remember us playing a board game. But it was unstructured. Even on a rainy day, you'd come in, and it was like
Right.
we build a fort out of the pillows on the couch in the basement.
Right.
Yeah.
You were building forts and I was playing law court.
We built forts inside and outside. We had more forts in the woods next to my house. We would find where houses were being built and go to the scrap pile and get the wood from the scrap pile
Mm.
and like somehow like get a wagon or something and bring it home and build a fort.
Yeah. Remember like climbing trees
I was
too?
just going to talk about that.
Used to love to climb trees.
It was a frequent thing that my mom would have to cut sap out of my hair because I because I had like a big
That's when you had the big afro.
no, this was pre-afro, pre-puberty. There'd be a big chunk of sap in my hair and it would harden and there's no way to comb it out and she'd have to cut it out. It had these like patches.
Yeah, I know. You used to come in with like grass stains all over your danskins. You remember danskins? Oh my God, I used to have to
You
wear
know I'm a man,
danskins.
right?
I don't know. You had a banana seat and tassels. That was very girly to me.
Tassels on my handlebars.
That sounds like a bike I would have wanted.
It was a cool bike. It
Yeah.
might have been a Schwinn, actually.
Yeah, Schwinn was the best.
It was.
Yeah,
Um,
but there was always like a lot of social interaction. It was like you were always doing something with the kids in the neighborhood, whatever.
and there was no supervision.
No,
No
No.
supervision.
not really. No. Occasionally, like I can remember my mom, if we were like down in the basement with a bunch of kids, she'd be like, just make cookies. And you, of course,
Mhm.
you'd go running up the steps and be like, homemade cookies, whatever. But yeah, she wasn't like down in the basement watching what we were doing.
We were eating dirt. We didn't.
We were eating dirt. Not chocolate chip cookies.
I clearly remember all the kids in our crowd putting our money together and going down to the little corner store
Yeah.
and buying a quart of soda and sharing the soda.
Yeah. Well, see, I lived in the middle of nowhere, right? There you couldn't go down to the corner and buy
Well, it
soda.
was like
There
a-
was no corner to buy anything
We-
except
it-
maybe some asparagus. Hey, let's pull our money and
Let's
go
go
get
buy some
let's go get some
asparagus.
asparagus. Mm.
Um, the corner store, I also lived in the middle of nowhere, but the corner store was like 3/4 of a mile away. And we had
Oh
to,
no. I was like miles from town. There
this
was no
wasn't in
way.
town.
No.
It was an old neighborhood.
No, we didn't have that. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have to go like 5 miles to get to any kind of
5 miles there and 5 miles
Well,
back.
that's
That's your
not
10 miles.
Yeah. Well, actually, the closest thing was there was a speedway. You
A
could hear
gas
it.
station?
No, you could hear it. No, like
Oh, like a
cars.
racetrack.
Yeah,
Okay.
racetrack. Yeah, there was a racetrack,
Okay.
and you could hear that in the summer, right? And
Mhm.
then, which was always cool. And then you'd go a little bit further.
Have we abandoned animal imitations and now we're imitating race cars?
No, wait, that was a cross between. I don't know what
No,
that
I
was.
don't know.
No,
Please.
no, 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 no.
That's a motorcycle.
Beyond that was like some kind of fast foodish kind of place. Sometimes I'd ride my bike down there and they had Pong.
Oh.
So now I'm probably about, I don't know, 14
Mhm,
maybe.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. And so that was like the big day, right? Because you could get some French fries, play some Pong. You're like miles away from home. You're
Mhm.
on your own. You're doing your thing. Meet some friends there. Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. Cool.
Okay. So that was the first introduction of screens that I remember other than the TV.
Exactly.
Yep. I really, really, really wanted a home video game thing, and it wasn't Pong.
Asteroids was another new, and then there
That was later.
and then there was Pac-Man after that.
No, that was later too. There was
I don't remember
there was
besides
a
Pong.
competitor to Pong, which was
Oh.
Atari. Atari was Pong,
Yeah.
and there was a competitor, and that's the one I wanted. Never got it.
What was it?
I don't
What was the
remember what it was
game?
called. I don't.
Oh.
Oh, it had multiple games, but it never took off like Atari did.
Yeah. Big time.
Yep. So
And when you think about how slow that was, though, Pong, it was like doink, 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 doink. And then occasionally it would hit a sidewall and be like doink, doink.
Yep.
I'm like, woo! Pinball. I also liked pinball. That didn't require,
where
the
did you
screen.
play pinball?
That was next to the Pong machine, was the pinball machine.
Well,
Same
I mean,
place.
5 miles away from home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would ride your bike
Misspent
5
youth.
miles. No, we didn't have any. No. We had, probably a mile and a half from my house, we had a miniature golf course.
Oh, hey.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was cool.
that was fun.
Yeah.
That was
Miniature
fun.
I always loved miniature golf.
It was right across the street from an airport, and the planes would just come, like, fly, like, treetop, little private planes.
Yeah.
So I'm just reminiscing about that.
You had a private plane? You were a rich kid.
I didn't have a private plane. In the town where I grew up,
Yeah.
there was a small airport.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
No. Okay.
No, it's gone.
All right.
So what are the benefits of the kind of play that we had, what they call unstructured play?
Well, creativity for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Right? I mean, we were, like I said, we had some pretty complicated games that we would come up with.
Convict the little kid in the neighborhood? Was that one of the games?
Hang 'em.
You were the
We
hanging.
had
I
the
know.
death penalty.
I know you were the hanging
No.
judge.
No, I was Judge Janet.
Judge Janet.
No, I was always very lenient.
Really? What were some of the punishments you would hand out?
Patty whacking. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
What?
Patty whacking.
I don't know what that
Remember-
is. No.
You don't know what a patty whacking is?
Nope.
Oh, come on.
I'm not lying.
Seriously?
I'm not lying.
How about when it was your birthday? You didn't go through the patty whacking?
Nope.
Oh, well, we're going to have to do that on your birthday.
Am I going to like it?
I'm not going to tell you what I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Everybody stands in a line with your legs separated and you have to crawl through and they spank you. I guess you go through. That's a patty whacking.
Where did you grow up? My gosh.
New Jersey. Patty whacking.
Oh, no, when you say it like that, now I know. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. We would crawl through our friends' legs and have them whack us on the behind. No, we didn't do that.
That was the kind of.
Wait, did you grow up in some some tribe or something?
That's the kind of sentence you would get from Judge Janet. One patty whacking for you.
How many kids would be whacking you on the behind?
Well, we usually have probably, I don't know, 10 to 12 kids together.
This is like a sadomasochistic thing.
Well, it was well, that was part of the sentencing, right? It was like, is it a 5-person patty whack? Or all 10?
So much now makes sense. Gosh, not like our friend, we would play games
No,
and
but
go skating on the pond.
what about birthdays? Didn't you do that?
I had one birthday party when I was 10.
Aw,
Mm.
Joe.
Yeah.
Oh.
We played Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
Yes, I remember Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
We had
That was fun.
cake. And that's all I
Did you ever
remember.
play Twister? Remember Twister?
Yes, I remember Twister.
That was fun.
Do you
What
think
other
you,
games we used to play?
But,
Rover, Red Rover.
Red Rover, Red Roverson,
Green
Janet,
Light,
yeah.
Red Light,
Um,
things like that.
so I
Croquet.
maybe where you grew up in your Polynesian village was different, but me and the guys
You
didn't
do
play
patty
Twister. We
whacking?
didn't play Twister.
Well,
no,
I can imagine that would have gone over too well.
we didn't. It wasn't. Hey, Steve, let's play Twister. Okay, Joe. No, we didn't play Twister.
Right hand
We went
to
we
right leg.
We went skating on the pond, or we would ride bikes,
I
or we
used to
would
go
play
ice
hockey.
skating until I smashed my chin open on it. I still can see the blood spilling out over the white ice. Yeah.
As part of your Polynesian village
12,
ritual,
12 stitches on that one.
jeez.
Do you ever get stitches, Joe? From all this outdoor play and
I've never had
bike
stitches. Nope, never had
riding your mini bikes in the dark? You
Oh,
never had stitches?
nope, I've
You
never
ever
had.
have a broken bone?
I have, but I was an adult,
Oh,
and it was a stupid thing that I did.
okay. Well, that's another episode.
I broke a couple of
Stupid things
fingers.
that we've done.
Yeah.
Oh, fingers are. I broke the tip of my finger one time, and man, let me tell you, that hurt. Split it right down the center. That hurt because there's so many nerve endings in the tip of your finger.
Oh, there are. So, is that worse than a paddywhacking?
You could break your finger doing the pad. No,
Gosh.
the paddywhacking, it's just fun. You should try it sometime.
Yes. I would just like to say, we don't advocate like hitting your friends. That's not something that we think is.
Well, if you went through fast, they wouldn't get you. You have to go through fast. They could barely get to you if you go
This
through
sounds
fast.
this sounds like some like fraternity initiation. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
All right. What are the other benefits of the kind of play that we did?
Oh, gosh.
Beating up your friends,
No.
emotionally scarring children.
Trauma. You know, I think, I don't know, Joe. What do you think?
I think you said creativity. I think
Yes.
problem solving. We would build jumps for our bikes and for our
that's
our
true.
mini bikes,
Yeah.
our motorcycles.
Innovation, right? Like,
It was, okay, how do we do this where we don't kill ourselves?
well, that's the other thing. It was a lot of teamwork,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Like when you got to set that paddywhacking up, you know.
Can we get off the paddywhack? Well, maybe getting off is not what I should be saying about a paddywhacking.
So, I mean, it was very social. We had
Yes.
you
Oh, yeah. Let's get
definitely
together
learned
and just whack the
social-
hell out of
No,
our friends.
I don't mean the No, our play was very social.
Yes, it was.
Right, and it
Mhm.
was like teamwork, right? It was like somebody was leading it, you know, and usually the
Judge
older
Janet.
kids, and you'd like come up with roles, who was going to do what, and yeah, and then you would do it.
Your unstructured play was much more structured than mine.
Well, girls, you know,
Yeah, girls.
yeah.
And the kind of play we did also helped you develop skills.
Right.
Like, we were building forts outside. I mean, we had to like steal our father's tools, and
Yeah,
we built stuff
right.
up in trees where if you didn't build it right, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not to say that kids these days aren't building skills. They're just building different kinds of
Different
skills, right?
That's true.
I mean, they're still like they have cognitive development clearly, and they're mastering things online and whatnot, which we still have challenges. Oh, you know what we used to do? We would roller skate in the basement, and I can remember tying
Was it
pillows
like roller derby where you would like
Yeah.
push people into the wall?
into the pole. Doing. No, we'd have roller skates and we'd tie pillows to our butts so if we fell.
So in one form of play, you were intending to hurt your friends. There was a lot more that we used to do when we were younger. It was fun. We were outside. We were with our friends. We were getting fresh air. We were unsupervised, which made us responsible for ourselves somewhat. I remember times someone would suggest, hey, let's do this. I'd be like, no, guys, no,
yeah.
we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean there are. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, but things can go wrong.
They can.
Yeah,
They can.
paddywhacking gone bad.
All right. Enough about the paddywhacking.
Yeah, we mentioned it way too many times
We
in
have.
this episode.
All right. I want to again mention there are all kinds of sources that we put in the Spotify show notes. If you go to Spotify, leave a comment. Tell us what you used to do when you were a kid.
Way back
for
when.
play. Way back when. I'm throwing my thumb over my shoulder.
Yes.
Way back when. And reach out to us. You can send an email to 60pluspodcast@gmail.com.
Right. Give us your ideas, what you'd like to hear us talk about.
And share the 60 Plus podcast with your friends. Tell them how much fun
Yeah,
paddywhackings are. All right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Is that it? Are we done?
That is it.
All right, that's it for this episode of the 60 Plus podcast. I'm Joe.
I'm Janet. Bye.